Someone born in the U.S. in 1905 was 60 years old before Black Americans received the right to vote with the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And especially if they were born white in 1905, they probably had no idea that Black men already had the right to vote and were exercising that right just a few years before they were born. And that right had been taken away from them. I attended an event recently in Indianapolis hosted by Jennifer McCormick where the guest speaker was David Pepper. He is an author and a lawyer and an advocate for democracy, especially in red states. He's right next door to us in Ohio. And he talked about our understanding of democracy being shaped by when we were born, where we were born, and what we look like. Us white folks, born post-1965, have lived our entire lives under this false sense of security that democracy is permanent, that it's not something we would have to fight for anymore. We watched Barack Obama become president. Here in Indiana, our electoral votes went to a Black Democratic man for president. And we thought that progress was just going to keep moving forward. We never imagined it would be taken back. But after Obama's election, that white panic started to bubble up, that same white panic that was there in the post-Reconstruction era that led to Jim Crow. And in 2011, Donald Trump gave more credence to that white panic when he questioned the legitimacy of Barack Obama's birth certificate. And that has led us to where we are today. When I was driving home from that event, I thought about my own children, born in 2007 and 2009 during Obama's presidency, but they have no memory of that. Their only understanding of the presidency is Donald Trump. It's chaos, it's hate. And what we do now to prepare for 2026 is going to determine if my kids have to wait until they're 60 to see basic rights restored to their fellow Americans, rights that I took for granted my whole life. Donald Trump and his allies, with all of their hateful rhetoric, are counting on us white folks to feel helpless and hopeless and use our privilege to protect ourselves. Because honestly, that whiteness has been one of the best suits of armor we ever could wear in the United States. They are counting on us to feel like there is nothing we can do. But we have a responsibility. We have to use our privilege right now. And what we do now is going to determine how long this insanity is going to last. I want you to check out my next video because I'm going to give you some action steps, some tangible things we can do to start laying the groundwork for 2026 and beyond. And as I leave you here, I want to remind you of John Lewis, the late congressman. He passed away in 2020. He was born in 1940. He was a civil rights activist, a pioneer, a politician, a congressman, an inspiration. The Voting Rights Act and Civil Rights Acts were passed in 1965 when John Lewis was 25 years old. He lived another 55 years and he never stopped fighting because he knew democracy is not permanent. Democracy is something we have to work to preserve. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm only one person, what can I do? I want to leave you with this quote from John Lewis. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? We are the us, and the time is now. Check out my next video. We're in this together.